Good evening, ladies. And I want to thank you. Since I went off into la la land with the last video with a lot of personal stuff, I'll try to stick to more book tonight. I try to balance it out. I will tell you the new environment we're in. I'm in my husband and my's pizza office. I'm sitting behind the Pizza King's desk, my husband. And I just want to point out a painting that he did. Not known as an art guy, but early on in a date situation, we were at a family picnic. There was these canvases being passed out to the kids. I was probably only dating Gino a few months, and he sat down and whipped that out, and it's become a joke in our house, and he actually named it, and it's important to him, and he's so proud of it, and he loves to tell everyone that it's priceless and some masterpiece, and he's super like egotistical about it. You know what the name of the painting is? Soul of a Man. And I can't tell you how much I laughed at it and made fun of it, but at the same time, he proudly displays it. So he's light years ahead of me in terms of creativity and identity. And I just want to point that out. So enjoy my husband's Soul of a Man in the background, and I feel that I deserve to pay tribute to something that I aspire to be able to do. Just put up my art and be like, it's good. What's wrong with all of you people? All right, let's get into the content. This week is connection. So let's get to 117. Connection, huh? I'm going to read aloud together. It's a little darker in here. Glasses are necessary. Contacts coming. All right. Art is not about thinking something up. It's about the opposite, getting something down. The directions are important here. If we're trying to think something up, we are straining to reach for something that's just beyond our grasp. Up there in the stratosphere where art lives high. When we get something down, there's no strain at all. We're not doing, we're getting. Someone or something else is doing the doing. Instead of reaching for inventions, we are engaged in listening. In this chaotic room with all this stuff that has to get done to run a busy restaurant, I'm just blown away by the simplicity of our instruction. Just let it flow. Stop trying to do the hard work. We are more of the conduit. That's interesting when you think of the conduit or electricity, that flow, than the creator of what we express. Let me repeat that. We are more the conduit than the creator of what we express. Because where does the creativity come from? We are the conduit. Let it flow. I struggle with that. I think I got to think it up myself. We are more of an instrument than the author of our work. One of our art directors, Vicky, testifies to this all the time in a lot of the pieces that she draws. I don't think she realizes when she's describing her art that she does that. But she talks about being the conduit, just letting it flow, praying before she does it. Listening is a stream of inspiration. So listen. Don't write it off as goofy. All right, 119, page 119. Once you accept that it is natural to create, you can begin to accept a second idea, that the creator will hand you whatever you need for the project. Whoa. What the creator orders, he pays for. The minute you are willing to accept the help of your collaborator, you will see useful bits of help everywhere in your life. Be alert, there's a second voice though. A higher harmonic, adding to and augmenting your inner creative voice. This voice frequently shows itself in synchronicity. You will hear the dialogue you need, find the right song for the sequence, see the exact paint color you almost had in mind, and so forth. You will have the experience of finding things, books, seminars, tossed out stuff that happen to fit what you're doing. And that is God. Learn to accept the possibility that the universe is helping you with what you're doing. Be willing to see the hand of God and accept it as a friend's offer to help you with what you're doing. Just like another friend, I'm really interested in oil paintings. Anybody got anything before I spend $1 million? She wasn't looking to put people out, but people responded. Put it out there. You don't know what's around the corner. She might be like, I hate this. I never want to do this again. Or it starts the confidence to invest in further. Either way is okay. Another woman last week said, I went out and bought some art supplies. I don't know. I really don't like the stuff that I end up creating. I'm not really liking what's coming out, but I'm enjoying doing it. And I think she almost glossed over that. And then she talked about her family noticing differences, her daughter, and, whoa, Mom, you bought yourself some art stuff? What are you doing? And was open to it, not critical. But that's the thing. Can we understand that we like doing it? If it makes us, if we're happy doing it, who cares if it looks good? And that doesn't mean, I'm not saying it doesn't really look good. We just criticize ourselves. Can't we just play? Can't we just play? Can't we just take our idea and put it down? And sometimes the ideas don't work out. The color's ugly. You didn't see this particular objection or obstacle. And it didn't turn out the way you thought. You wanted it to change it to this color and it just is ugly and you need to put it back. You went too far with the detail on your fireplace and now you just want it back white. Okay, that's me on something that I did. So, not the end of the world. It wasn't a waste. You had fun doing it. The exploration was spiritual. It brought you closer to the Creator. Do it. It might have made you a nicer person the rest of the week for that alone. You don't even know all the other benefits that came with it. All right, get off the horse. Back to the teaching. All right. I don't even know where I ended. Because many of us unconsciously harbor the fearful belief that God would find our creations decadent or frivolous or worse. We tend to discount the Creator to Creator help. He doesn't even care. Okay. You don't think God cares that you want to sit down and watercolor with him? He delights in that time. Delights is waiting for you. Is that crazy? You think he's too busy because he's with somebody else? He can be with all of you at the same time. It's crazy. I'm crying talking about it. Woohoo! God moment. Moving on. Try to remember that God is the greatest artist, and artists like other artists. So God's the greatest artist there is, and he likes you, and he wants to be with you. Expect the universe to support your dream. It will. Wow, it's powerful. I'm bawling. It's powerful. Woo. Love it. Love it. All right. Perfectionism. She talks about perfectionism. The weirdest thing that I read in this, as you read through this too, is it actually has nothing to do with getting it right or fixing things up. That's what I thought. Perfect, being, having it correct. It's actually, perfectionism is actually the refusal to let yourself move ahead. It's a loop where you get stuck in the details and lose sight of the whole. We correct our originality to conformity, just conforming with everything else. That makes sense. We create with one eye on our audience. Do you do that when you're looking for approval, when you're looking to get noticed, picked up? The critic reigns supreme in the creative household. The perfectionist is never satisfied. Let me repeat that. Perfectionism, there's no satisfaction for it. You never achieve it. Let that sink in. You never achieve it. You're striving for something you're never going to achieve. That makes me want to quit. When you can think ahead at the end game and you realize you're just spinning in a wheel, the hamster wants to stop. Some of us do. Well, some of us do. I do. If I think I'm on a hamster wheel going around and around, I want to get off. Do you? All right. The perfectionist calls room for improvement humility. But in reality, it's an ego. It's egotism. What? You're just a perfectionist. You just want things to be good. You don't have an ego. You don't talk about it. Nope, it's pride. It's pride that makes us have to want to do it perfectly. That's not having any compassion or grace for being new, for non-perfect. And non-perfect is beautiful. Perfection itself is not the quest for the best. It's us looking for the worst in ourselves. It is. Nothing is ever really finished, yet we must let go at a certain point and just call it done with our art. There's a certain point where you're like, this is good enough. Don't push it. Don't try to turn it into something else. Or I don't really like this one part, so I better redo it. No. Pray about it. When are you done? Jenny's pretty good at this. I'm going to say that. She kind of looks at her piece and goes, I'm done. I don't know if she thinks she's going to jack it up, if she doesn't want to let the creativity spill over the edge, or if she truly knows, ask her at check-ins. If you guys know Jenny, I don't know how far these videos will go. Probably not very far because they're pretty amateur. But it's important. That is the right message. So thank you, Jenny. All right. Risk. She talks about risk. Our success in creative recovery hinges on our ability to move out and into action. Question. What would I do if I didn't have to do it perfectly? We deny that in order to do something well, that we must first be willing to do it badly. She talks about this earlier. And so we opt for situations where we ensure success versus try something new and fail at it and think, okay, I really sucked at that. That did not work out, but I actually liked it. I want to do it again. I want to try it again. Or, okay, I really sucked at that. I really didn't like it. I don't want to ever do it again. It didn't interest me. It was like nails on a chalkboard, whatever, right? We have different experiences, but there's things that we do badly that we actually do think, well, if I would have known this, and if I would have had this, and if I would have really followed this color scheme, and now that I know this resource exists and I can use this material, I want to try to do it again. On this day, it involved this person. All right, maybe y'all don't think like that, but sometimes I do. When I really jack up, I'm motivated to go back and do it again in a different way with all those different scenarios sometimes. So think through it. All right. Risk. It's our success in creative recovery, right? To move in and out of action. I said that. So not having to do it perfectly. Can you let the success go? Because failure is success. Having failed at things creates success. There's things you can't be good at until you fail at it. I can't talk about my relationship with God the way I do without talking about the failures of my life. I don't have one without the other. Does that make sense? All right. Very often, risk is worth taking the just do it thing just for the sake of taking it. Like, if I don't have to do something perfectly, what would I try? That quiz on 122. Let's look at that real quick. Let me open up. I have a habit of closing my book even though I'm doing the facilitating here. I just crossed off or checked the ones. What'd you pick? Wearing red lipstick. I always want to do it every time I put it on. I'm like, get it off. I love women that wear red lipstick. I think that is so awesome. All right. Jealousy. I love this. I think if I picked anything out of the whole 12 weeks, it'd be this. And I've already been talking too long, so I can't go crazy. But what she talks about is jealousy a normal human emotion? I think it is. The Creator talks about being a jealous God. Jealousy is a map, as she says. It differs for everybody. Okay, so we're going to start reading at the bottom of 123. Like literally at the bottom. Jealousy is always a mask for fear. Fear that we're not able to get what we want. Frustration that somebody else seems to be getting what's rightfully ours. And even if we are too frightened to reach for it. As a root, jealousy is a very stingy emotion. It doesn't allow for the abundance and multiplicity of the universe. Jealousy tells us there's only room for one poet, one painter, one whatever you dream of being. The truth revealed by action in the direction of our dreams is that there's room for everybody, all of us. But jealousy produces tunnel vision bad. I'm sorry, I did the bad. Like a sheep, bad. No, it is. It's awful. Jealousy does tunnel vision us. We start getting so distracted, we don't even see what's going on. Ladies, hear me. Jealousy tells us so many things. It narrows our ability to see things in perspective. It strips us of our ability to see other options. Our biggest lie is that jealousy tells us that we have no choice but to be jealous. Perversely, jealousy strips us of our will to act when action holds the key to our freedom. So if you're jealous, do something about it. Stop being jealous about it. Go out and do it for yourself. It's that simple. I mean, that seems like a kick in the face, right between the eyes, a shot. I don't know. But the jealousy does no good. But it's a map. And don't feel awful and beat yourself up that you're feeling it. Just identify it. You don't have to tell the world. You don't even have to say it in group. Confessing is great, as we're learning every week, but you don't have to say it in group. But you do. Just write this in your morning pages. You can be jealous, but use it as a map. Do the exercise. It's going to lead you to being unblocked. To a life of peace and better relationships, less anxiety, fulfilling dreams. Why not try it? Sign up. The jealousy map, 124. Let jealousy be your fuel to getting where you want to go. Otherwise, you're going to be a bitter old lady. Don't be a bitter old lady. We all know somebody that's a bitter old lady. Don't be that lady. All right. She talks about archaeology as an exercise. Was that cool or what? Any observations? I would love to hear them. One of the things on, there's been so many surveys. The money chapter was like, what would you do? You know, it was like, if you were different or something. And I added like, if I would have married differently, I would have had more money. Like the things that I wrote, but like you need to just like jot quickly what happens, you know? And that one just like goes back. Sometimes you like scare yourself with the stuff you jot down. And so you don't have to share it with others. But don't omit those blurts. It doesn't mean that's even truly what you believe. It could be the critic. It could be the creator. It could be you. It could be a chance to just examine your belief systems. So don't judge what's coming out. Just examine it. But it's cool. Like I just wanted to be super transparent. If you looked at some of my answers, you die like laughing. Like what? And I laugh at my answers and they change this is like the 5th time or 6th time I'm doing this. So they change, but, which is cool too. But there's still things that are the same. So I just wanted to point that out. Tasks. There's the phrase mantra and the art. She talks about listening to an album and then drawing out what you hear. I have not done that one. I think I'm going to challenge myself on vacay. Doing these ahead of time so I can really enjoy vacay. Go someplace and observe the silence and solitude. All right, I'll do that. Create a wonderful smell in your house. Ooh. Talk about that at check-in. Oh my gosh. My mom used to do this boiling cinnamon thing. I haven't done that ever. Get dressed up for no reason. Like making videos? Kidding. Buy yourself something wonderful and comforting. Okay, already did that. Create a timed collage. List 5 favorite films and reserve any patterns or genres. Notice favorite topics to read about. All right. Thanks for sticking with me. Sometimes we love these chapters together. Sometimes we don't. So if you're watching this on a double week, thank you even longer. But I hope this content has blessed you. And I can't wait to hear your check-ins.